YouTube, Jinji here. If this is your first video, thank you and welcome. And if this isn't your first video, thank you for being here and supporting me. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 goals that I set and accomplished during quarantine. 1 small, 1 medium, and 1 large. I know that sounds like a McDonald's order, but I promise you there is no junk or filler in this video. It's all organic, non-GMO, vegan, because I'm going to be sharing with you valuable information about the things I learned during this process. So one small goal I set for myself was to actually do a boudoir photo shoot. So if you haven't seen boudoir pictures before, what it is basically a woman or a man, let's be gender inclusive here, wears lingerie and takes sexy pictures. Or they take pictures that don't quite show full nudity but imply nudity. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. I think the human body is a perfectly natural thing and nothing to be ashamed of. I think it's actually unnatural to be ashamed of your body. But that's kind of how the world conditions us, you know. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. And so what it seems like from the photo shoots that I've seen is that usually women do it before they get married or to sort of commemorate a major turning point in their lives, like, for example, being in the best shape of their life. And that's actually the reason that I personally chose to do a boudoir photo shoot, because I had started pole dancing a year ago and I didn't even realize until I was watching old videos of myself recently just how much my body had transformed. The crazy thing is that I don't think I was even overweight. I think my weight was healthy for my height and my size. But the thing is that pole is really a grueling and physically demanding workout. So my body couldn't help but be totally transformed because I was training 5-6 days a week if I felt really good. And this is what I look like before. And this is what I look like after. So I didn't set out to lose weight, and I will actually never congratulate someone on losing weight ever again because in my opinion that's fat phobic. I celebrate the fact that I got really strong and toned and muscled up, and again I just feel so good inside, almost invincible. I thought to myself, you know, this is the best shape I've ever been in my life. I feel really good and I want to commemorate that, so that when I have kids in the future, I can show them in pictures and be like, well, you know, honey, when mommy was your age, she was a bad But also, I want to be able to look back at those photos and remember a time in my life when I really felt confident, had high self-esteem, and really and truly loved myself. Now, small problem, well, actually a big problem, right? Because of the pandemic, I did not really feel safe going to a boudoir photographer's studio, potentially risking myself and others' health. So what I decided to do is actually do a boudoir photo shoot by myself at home. So to prepare for this photo shoot, I went to Hustler Hollywood, which is a chain here in California that sells sexy clothing and outfits, as well as sex toys and all the other stuff. And I picked out a cute bustier thong and leggings for myself that I felt really good in and wanted to rock for the photo shoot. And to figure out poses, I basically went on Pinterest and I looked up model poses, boudoir photo shoots, anything related to doing photo shoots and models, so I could have some ideas for what to do during the photo shoot. And I already have my ring light that I use for pictures and YouTube videos, so I use that as well. And you know what? You know, for someone with no professional photography experience, no mentoring, I think that actually turned out pretty good. I'm not mad at the results at all. So here they are. You can judge for yourself. So those are the pictures, and like I said, I'm overall pretty happy. I'm surprised that they turned out better than I thought they would. You know, if I went to a professional photographer, I know they'd probably have, better makeup. They'd probably have more fun sets. But, I am in quarantine, unemployed, and I don't have an extra $1,500 to splurge on that kind of thing. And like I said, overall, I'm really happy. I think that these pictures look pretty good. I can definitely edit it a little bit more if I wanted to. I do have some skills in that department. But I really like them, and I can't wait to show my kids and future husband what I look like now in the future. My second goal was to break my sugar addiction. I was always in denial about my addiction because it always came in cycles. So I would think to myself, oh, it's not 365 days a year, so it's not really a big deal. Last year, I went through this phase around January, February, March, where I would have bubble tea every single day for 3 months. And I think a year before that, I got into a phase where I had ice cream for breakfast every single day for 3 months. And then I realized that I had to face the truth when quarantine came around, because I fell for the trap of emotional eating. And basically for a week I had ice cream and cookies before bed every single night. It was that bad. I feel like I would have a meltdown if I didn't have those sweets before bed. And so it was very difficult at first. The way that I went about it, though, I think was pretty healthy. I'm not a certified nutritionist or dietitian, so don't follow my advice. Always consult with your doctor first. But what I did was basically I started changing one part of my daily routine every day. I didn't go cold turkey. That's actually one of the worst things you can do if you're trying to break addiction. So I started off by making a green smoothie and drinking it every morning. And this smoothie had half a cup of water, a quarter cup of pineapple juice, a cup of kale, a cup of spinach, a little bit of lemon, half an avocado, half a banana, and a tablespoon of chia seeds. And then maybe some agave syrup in there for a little bit of sweetener. And it was very, very difficult to tolerate it at first because, my palate is used to so many fats and sugars. And so I really hated it at first, and I would put probably a tablespoon or 2 of agave, which is a low glycemic sweetener. So it's actually good if you're trying to cut out sugar. And actually drinking that smoothie every morning helped me in a huge way because it would keep me full for a long time. And after doing that for a couple days, I started to actually crave fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's something that's very, very rare. So it was a really positive change, and it led to me craving healthy foods and greens. And so bit by bit I started incorporating one little meal, one little snack. I took baby steps. Again, if you're trying to break an addiction, experts always will tell you that going cold turkey is never the route to take. In some ways, it is still almost like I'm living with that sugar addiction, because every once in a while I do feel tempted. But the difference now is that when I say no, it feels empowering instead of me feeling like I'm gonna have a meltdown. And so that's really new to me. It's really different to not have my emotions attached to food. I'm still getting used to that part. I did read somewhere though that having a mental health disorder does make you more prone to having an eating disorder. And so that kind of makes sense for me because I do struggle with social anxiety disorder at times, and sweets have always been a source of comfort for me in tough times. So for me, maintaining that break from sugar addiction, maintaining a healthy relationship with food, does entail a lot of meditation and deep spiritual practices that are going to help me maintain that mental clarity and focus to push through those tough times. So yeah, it all goes back to your mental health, whatever's happening inside your body, inside your spirit. It's gonna come out in some other form. So you have to make sure that you're mentally situated first before you expect to see any physical result in the body. That's what I believe anyway. And last but not least, my third goal was to have a piece of writing published. So something really cool that happened for me during quarantine was that I actually rediscovered my long lost love of writing. I always loved writing and reading ever since I was a kid. I remember when I was in second grade, I won a scary story writing contest. Yeah, that was cool. And then I would write poems in middle school and high school. And then in college, I didn't pursue creative writing because, there's a stereotype about writing not being a livable career. And I wanted something secure. And unfortunately, due to coronavirus, I lost my job like a million other people, and I had a lot of time to sit and reflect on what I really want for my life. And one of the things I was thinking about was missed opportunities, and I was thinking about how if I were to die the next day because I contracted the virus, I would regret at least not trying to get a piece of writing published. And so that was my motivating factor for pursuing that goal. And actually the timing was just right because I have a personal Instagram account where I post my poetry, and an editor from a student magazine actually DM'd me and said, "Hey, do you want to write something for our digital magazine?" And I had just written this long impassioned rant about Trader Joe's recent ethnicization of their products. And basically it was me going into this whole spiel about how companies will hide behind the words of diversity and inclusion to avoid actually investing concerted efforts into real anti-racism work. But anyway, I digress. See, here's the thing that I think always happens. When you put your best foot forward, the universe will always rise to the occasion to meet you. I genuinely feel like that because, this whole video is about me accomplishing the goals and manifesting those dreams. And no matter what, you're gonna come out of this period changed. But if you can, everyone's dealing with different things. If it's within your capacity, I think you should try to push yourself outside of your comfort zone as much as you can during this time period. Because when will there ever be another point in history when you have all this time to just work on yourself, and make your dreams come true? So that's what I hope that you take away from this video. Because really what I learned from accomplishing all these goals is that you can literally do anything you put your mind to. And again, we are in a pandemic, so just think about it. Do you really want the possibility of you passing on without really having explored all of your potential of what you have to share with the world? Just think about that. Like I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want something, you can definitely go out and get it. It's just about how hard you're willing to work for it. And if you have the patience, that's another thing. I'm trying to work on that myself. I think that I I could be a little bit more patient with myself. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you feel motivated and inspired to chase your dreams. Remember, anything is possible. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.